Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Today's short video is a rescue repot on a plant that hasn't really done anything for a couple of years now. It was on the list of possible throwaway plants, but I thought we'll give it a chance on the grounds that if I can get it to grow and get it to bloom again. The blooms are pretty special, last for ages, nice colour and everything, and it's the only plant I've got of that type, so I thought we'll give it a go. We'll give it a little rescue and see if it will work. Now originally this plant went down round the other place, got a real bad case of scale and did a fair bit of damage to the plant, and quite honestly it never really recovered. So however, now we'll give it a go. It's going to get the same treatment, if those of you saw the video, as I did with a couple of Dendrobium kikis. It's a method I use to support plants that can't support themselves, either because they've got next to no roots or they're just taller than the roots can support, until some roots grow obviously. So let's get on with it. The plant itself, its full name is an epidendrum, and it's Comet Valley Orange Star, and we haven't seen the orange bit for a very long time. I'll see if I've still got a picture and put that up so that you can see why it's probably worth saving. These epidendrums are often nicknamed the crucifix orchid because the blooms, they're sort of upside down blooms, the lip sort of points upwards and it looks like a crucifix, sort of. I suppose. Anyway, let's get going. Move the camera around and down and all that sort of stuff. My screen up where I can see it. Now, it's quite a small plant, so I will zoom in a bit. There we go. I won't go too far because I end up being off camera half the time. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is prepare the pot. And those of you who saw that video, what we do is we take a pot and we take a chunk out of it. That's the start. Take a chunk out of the rim and then cut that off. And the reason we do that is that, well, you'll see in a minute, and it becomes pretty obvious. There we go. So we just take a tooth out of what is a rim basically, and I'm going to strap a stake to the outside of the pot. Now if I left the rim on it would do that. Without the rim it's almost vertical. So that's why I take a chunk out. Yeah? Right, I'll be cutting the top of that off, so we'll use the blunt end. So you need some duct tape. It doesn't have to be duct tape, but it needs to be something that sticks, and sticks well. So we'll grab a bit of that. This sticks so well, you've got a job to peel it off, to cut a piece off. Just tip a corner over so that we can get at it next time round. And then what we do, we put the stake up against the side of the pot, in the tooth, and then we put the tape over the top of it and stick that to the pot. Like that. Try and keep the stake as upright as possible, and then make sure it sticks down really well. Right, so that's that bit done. That's the mechanical bit. Now we deal with the plant. Is that readable? Not really. Needs a new I won't bother with a new tag because I don't even know if it's going to grow yet. I think there's two pieces in here, or there was originally. Yeah, so that piece is dead, so that's rubbish. Now this piece is joined onto these two, but I don't want it, so I'm going to separate it. Because I don't want that piece on the plant. However, these roots are dead. But this one's okay, this one's alive, and we have a new one. Do you know, these are firm, that one's not. So we've got a couple of non-firm roots that are obviously gone. So we'll get rid of those. And I think I'm going to leave the rest and try and get them in the pot. Right, so there's a little bit more root on this than I thought there was. That doesn't mean to say it's at the end of that root is not good. We'll take that off. Right, so this is a mix I used last time with the two dendrobium kikis. This was left over, so it's the same mix. It's basically broken up sphagnum moss with seedling bark and perlite. So it's a very fine mix. So I'm going to put some in the bottom. And because we've actually got some roots, I'm just going to bend those over. Now I need to get a clip to hold the plant in place. So it's a pot full of clips. And we want a grabby clip. Make sure everything stays where it's put. So actually move that up a bit and put it there. Right, so that's the plant held in place, and then all we do is just fill up with the media. As I said, this is a mix that will hold a reasonable amount of moisture. Now these plants, these epidendrum types, some people grow these if they've got the right conditions and temperatures. They actually grow them as a garden plant. So they are more of a terrestrial than an epiphyte, and so this mix that I'm using here is far more suited to this plant than what it was in before, which was quite chunky bark. I'm just making sure we've got some moss near those roots at the base and that it's covered up so that it stays put by water. Right, so no need to press anything down, just a gentle tap, and those roots are still exposed at the base, so I'm still going to have to put some more in. They are going to get covered one way or the other, they just don't know it yet. There we go, that'll do. So that really is it. I'll put the tag back in even though I can't really read it, but there's an outline there that I can see. And I know what it is, and it's in my notes, so you know, with its proper name and everything. So we'll mark it down as repotted. And as I said, that's a rescue repot, so it now has a chance to recover. This piece here, which is a kiki off of the base, does have a growing tip, and it does have an active root tip coming off the base that's about just over 1 centimetre long. And those other roots are not as bad as I thought they were. So if we get all that lot hydrated now, maybe this will push on. So we shall see. But it had to be worth a go. And yeah, so if I put a picture of the flowers up now, you can see that you know, these do grow into, you know, when I first got this, I got this at Malvern many years ago. I mean, the plant was probably 2/3 of a metre tall, 2 foot and a bit perhaps, something like that. Had lots of canes and had multiple flowering spikes on the top of the canes. So it was a very, very big plant when I got it. And as I said, the scale got at it and it went downhill fast and has never come up since. But it'll take some doing to get it back to flowering size, but we'll see how we get on. So that's that. Those of you that watched the Sunday video and listened to it carefully, I was saying about having breathing issues, which I still am. I took my car in for its MOT this morning, and to get the bus home I have to sort of walk back, you know, round a cross some roads and everything, and the bus stop's right outside the doctor's surgery where I have to go for my blood tests and things. So I thought, I'm going to go in and basically demand an appointment. So I walked in quite out of breath from walking from the garage to there, and I sort of put my hand up and said, I'll come and see you in a bit, I want to get my breath back, you know, putting it on a bit. But anyway, I got an appointment for not this Wednesday, next Wednesday at lunchtime. So I will go along and I will see somebody and get checked properly. You know, I want my heart listened to, the rate, you know, and all that sort of stuff. I want somebody to listen to my lungs front and back to see if the problem is not just my AF, and consider my medication dosage. Is that still suitable for how they see me there and then? And just get sort of checked over properly. I just have to have my blood pressure checked. That'll be high. You guarantee it will, you know. Unless I get quite a long wait, you know, if they're running late or anything, if I get there 5 or 10 minutes early and can sit down calmly and everything, maybe my blood pressure won't be high. But, you know, as soon as I get up and start doing anything and exert myself, obviously my blood pressure is going to go up. That's how it works. But, yeah, so I get checked over properly and listened to and seen and see what they come up with. Probably nothing. They'll probably say it's just got worse and you're getting older and you'll have to live with it, sort of thing. But if something can be done, like adjust my medication or whatever, or change it, a different type or something, then let's give it a go. So worst case scenario is they recommend the actual treatment for AF, which is you have to have a general anaesthetic, and then they use electric shocks on your heart to make it beat regular and stop it wandering. And they set it like that, and then they bring you round, and sometimes the AF never comes back again. Once they reset it and get it beating properly, it then carries on. And other times it doesn't work and they can't regulate it, it stays erratic. And other times it gets fixed and then comes back again quite quickly. So, you know, we shall see. And I shall keep you posted, obviously. But yeah, my car's in for its MOT. That's my initial worry, is to get that through, get that sorted. So anyway, I shall see you next time. Thanks for dropping by, and let's hope this little thing picks up. And we'll see how it does. As I said, it has got growth at the top. It has got a new root at the base with an active growing tip. And it does have more roots than I thought it had. They were hidden in the pot, I couldn't see those. So we'll see how it does. I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.